Now, one of the reasons China is filthy with Australia is that we led calls for an independent and credible investigation into how this coronavirus started in China. China's also been furious at Sky News host Sharri Markson. It's repeatedly smeared her for writing a string of stories on this very issue, asking these questions, which has led to the launch today of a book, which we've talked about before, What Really Happened in Wuhan. Now, attacks from China are one thing. Another is the fact that Sharri was also attacked by the ABC simply for asking questions about how this virus started and wondering if it was beyond coincidence that this unusual bat virus, apparently genetically modified, was first detected in the very same Chinese city, Wuhan, which had a virus laboratory doing exactly such work on such viruses. What a coincidence. The ABC's Media Watch, though, it was scathing.
So how likely is it that the virus escaped from that Chinese lab? Well, in short, it's not. Clearly, the lab escape story is one the Trump administration wants to be true.
Joining me on her publication day, the book's out now, go and buy it, is Sharri Markson. Sharri, congratulations again. Now, can you tell me, though, when is the ABC going to apologise for attacking you for asking these important questions and calling the idea that the virus escaped from a Chinese lab, calling that a conspiracy theory? Any apology yet?
Good evening, Andrew. Look, this isn't about me, but this is about the fact that the ABC has misled its viewers. And poor Barry, in one of those segments, he used the word conspiracy 5 times. So this is the television show that's meant to be the arbiter of journalism and good quality journalism and a commitment to the public truth and the public interest. And yet he misled his viewers and the Australian public by making them think that this was a conspiracy, when in fact, as you know, it was always a plausible source of the virus, a potential lab leak from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And my reports at the time weren't saying that that was the case. My reporting at the time was just straight news reporting saying that the intelligence agencies were investigating the Wuhan Institute of Virology. I also reported on a dossier from Western governments that alleged China had engaged in a wide-scale cover-up. Well, we know they have. That was true. And so we're now sitting here 21 months on. Joe Biden's own probe found that both origins were plausible, and yet the ABC still hasn't corrected its information. Paul Barry still hasn't told his viewers this is not a conspiracy.
Yeah, and the thing for me is that it goes to a pattern, really, the ABC, which jumps on stories that it finds inconvenient and closes down mere inquiries rather than, I know address journalistic errors, but they are addressing what they think are thought crimes, and that is what I think is really dangerous. Now, we've talked before about some of the amazing revelations in your book, and I think you've turned the dial from possible leak from a Wuhan lab to probable. One thing I found in your book, Chinese defectors were trying to warn the United States about what was really happening in Wuhan. Who were they and what did they have to say?
Look, there's quite a few different defectors who did reach out to United States officials. The one person we covered in the documentary, that was Wei Jingsheng, and everyone saw what he had to say, that there was a coronavirus spreading in October, and he really tried to sound the alarm. But there's other defectors as well, and in fact, not defectors. There's people who were working in the Wuhan Institute of Virology who, through an intermediary, and this is quite a big revelation actually in the book, through a trusted intermediary, made contact with the lead investigator in the State Department, David Asher, and told him what they alleged was happening inside the lab. And they spoke about links with the Chinese military, with the People's Liberation Army. And one of them made the allegation that there had been a monkey bite and that that's what started the pandemic. Now, David Asher, I interviewed him dozens and dozens of times, and he's a good talker. So the interviews each stretched for a long period of time over the course of while I was writing the book, and he very generously shared his research materials with me as well. This was the man who was leading the task force investigating the origins of COVID-19 in the State Department. The issue is, and why he's never spoken about this before, except I found it out during the course of my interviews, is that he was never able to verify that information. So it's potentially explosive. They were who they said they were. So he was able to verify that they were scientists working at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and he did trust the person who put him in contact with them, but he could never verify that the information they were alleging was true. And he was very concerned that when you're in a space like this, it could be Chinese disinformation.
Yes, but I think what you're suggesting here, more investigation will get us even closer to the truth. There's still more to come, but your book is a most excellent, well, more than a start. Sharri Markson, I wish you all the best with the book. Thank you so much for your time.